Had to unmute myself. All right, everyone. Morning, friends, for the Friday morning Soul Sanctuary. And I thought we would do some movement today. It's still telling me that I am muted, but I don't think so. Okay. Welcome. Thought I would bring my beautiful Chinese fluorite for some morning inspiration to our session today. And as you know from last week, I've said that I really want to hold space with you and with all of us on Fridays. At some point, I'll get more regular as time goes by and I find out if there are people who would like to join live. But for now, I'm doing this on Zoom, partly because I cannot use my own monitor to go live on Facebook. I have to buy I think I have to buy a new camera or a new monitor in order to do so. Anyway, so welcome, welcome. I just want you to take a moment to come back to yourself, really feel into your own body. And this stone, for some reason, this Chinese fluorite for me is a very grounding stone, but it's not a deep grounding like you would feel if you had, obsidian in your hand or carnelian. It holds a real light spiritual energy for me as well. I actually am starting to learn more about crystal healing from my healer and mentor, Vivian Chopra, who has a website called Crystal Healing Techniques. And I've joined the membership and I'm learning a little bit about how to use stones for energy healing. She is amazing, and she has this book. Let me show you her book. I may have shown you this book before. So I keep it on my coffee table for inspiration. And I just absolutely adore her. I've been working with her as an Alexander Technique teacher for 20 years. And she's given me so much over the years. So anyway, I'm holding this stone. I want you to just hold your own center. Something that I like to do at the beginning of any session, whether it's Alexander Technique or meditation, is to free my neck, allow the head to find an easy balance, and then just imagine your head easing away from the spine so that the spine becomes more buoyant and upright. And of course, the spine is connected to the pelvis. So if you're sitting instead of standing, you're actually sitting on your sitting bones, the tuberosities of the ischia, it's called in the skeletal science. And then your legs are free from the hip joint to release away. So let's let that happen. And if you want to, walk your hand all the way down, your hand, one hand or both hands, down your shins, and just give an intention for your shins to release downward towards the ground so that the feet soften, the underside of the feet can soften and spread out. Notice what happens when you do just that much of bringing your awareness back into your skeleton, back into your body. Now, for me, what happens is I free something up. And usually I take a spontaneous free breath, which is what I had just done. Because to a certain extent, we're holding tension to hold ourselves up that we don't even realize that we're doing. And to start unwinding that really opens and expands the body, bringing a little bit more ease and freedom to the whole of you. So I'm calling this Friday Soul Sanctuary. I want you to really connect with your body and your own being, your soul. You can close your eyes and just take a pause. Take a little moment to just stop whatever it is that you've been doing so you can come back to yourself. And the next thing we'll do is just begin to notice your breathing. Whatever it is, you're not trying to change your breath. You're just noticing. Where do you feel it in your body? You might even feel it, the breath coming in right at the nostrils. That's always a very interesting place to feel breath, or to allow the breath to come in, to inspire. You may feel it in the rib cage, or you may feel a little stuck in the ribs. That's okay too. You're just noticing, bringing your awareness to yourself with the desire and the intention to release and let go, let be. Let your shoulders relax. Feeling the weight of the body distributing downward through both sitting bones, and then giving that up, letting the body be held by the chair. Letting go of your legs once again, and noticing your breath. Okay, beautiful. So I should have warned you to bring a yoga mat or something that you can do a little bit of movement on, because now what we're going to do today is simply come over, lean over and come onto your feet into standing. And then if you have a place that you can do a little bit of yoga practice, let me adjust my camera here so I don't cut off my face. All right, there we go. All right, so you're just going to take a wide stance and allow yourself to shift weight from one hip to another. It actually is shifting your weight from one leg to another. So go ahead and do that. Keep a nice wide stance with your legs, and then bringing your hands to your hips, you're just going to bend your knees and bend your hips and come all the way down to the floor. You're going to bring your hands into your elbows and hang over like a rag doll. And keep noticing your breath, your breathing, letting your head hang. You can nod no, nod yes. Forward bend, and then just let your hands come down to the floor, and we're going to walk the hands forward so that you can bring yourself into what we call downward facing dog. You're still nice and wide. Go ahead and bend your knees quite a bit. What we want to do is keep the spine straight. Keep the spine long. And placing your hands on the floor, so really using those hands to push backwards towards your thighs. Fingers are elongating towards the front of your mat, but you're pressing your body's energy or weight back. So I always think of downward facing dog as like a sweeping up towards the sitting bones. And you'll notice that some of you will have your heels quite high off the ground. That's fine. Just keep softening your ankles. And then we're going to bring the legs back and bring the hands slightly forward. So you're in a plank pose. And just roll forward and back as you do that. Forward and back on the toes. And then let's come back into downward facing dog, and we're going to lift the right leg up to the ceiling. You can look at your belly or your standing leg, and then bend that knee quite a bit and pull it into the chest, and then bringing your foot forward. You can even walk or inch your foot forward between your hands. And let's just relax into this posture. You're opening all around the upper thigh on the right. Nice breath in. And then tucking the toes of the left foot, walk your left foot forward just a little bit. And if you have blocks handy, you can bring the blocks to this position. And we're just in a beautiful bent position, feeling the stretch along the back of that front leg. You can bend the back knee if you want. You can bend the front knee if you want also, if you're feeling any discomfort. One more breath. And then let's bring the left foot to meet the right foot. You can bring your blocks slightly away from the mat, and just bending your knees and bringing your fingertips to the floor. And we're going to go into a straight spine again. And now bending the knees quite a bit and bringing your arms all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, and then bringing them back down. Let's pause in prayer position. And take a nice breath. And now we're just going to fold over again, bending the knees. This time bring your left leg back. We're going to bring the right leg back to plank pose. And now we're going to do something a little fancy. We're going to lift the buttocks off the air. Bring the knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Tuck your elbows in. Let the top of the feet come to the floor, and then squeezing your buttocks, you're just going to lift up into a baby cobra. You could even bring your hands off the ground in this position because your upper spine is elongating, going into extension. Okay, and now we're going to lift up, come back into downward facing dog. Just shift back and forth from one leg to the other. And now we're going to bring the left leg up to the ceiling. And then pull that knee into the chest so you're really rounded when you do that. And that will bring you a little bit more forward. It's kind of a challenging thing to do, is bringing that foot all the way to the left thumb point. So, just wherever you are. And again, you can use your blocks. Really feeling into your own body. This is for your benefit. Nobody else is watching. Now, tucking the back toes under, we're going to straighten that leg. And again, you can bend the front knee if you're feeling any discomfort. Or you could even bend the back knee, but the front knee is usually a little bit better. And go for that nice long stretch in the back. Let's bring the right foot to meet the left. Again, moving your blocks away, bending your knees, folding over. Drop your head. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. And now pressing into the heels, you're going to lift yourself up all the way. And then just opening those arms and bringing yourself back into this quiet position in hands at your chest, looking down at the fingertips, and then bringing your arms down at your side. Let's finish by just coming down to your mat. Something that I teach in meditation is that it's always good to have a pillow or a block underneath you when you're sitting cross-legged, because it allows for the hips, the hip joints right in there, to be higher than the knees. So we're always on the way in a movement practice or yoga practice. And your body in the meantime might be feeling a little bit tight or restricted or constricted. I'm often very constricted in my left side. So I have to be a little bit kinder to my left side. Sometimes I'll bring that foot right into the block, so I really feel that left leg. Looks like my right leg from the video, but it's really my left leg. And then I'll bring my right foot up. This is now half lotus position. Can create a beautiful mudra with your hands, bringing the index finger and the thumb together, the hands resting on your lap. And just feel the effects of our very short movement practice today. Taking a pause, really connecting in to your own body. And the first sanctuary that you can connect to is your own soul sanctuary. Your beautiful body, your goddess body, or your hero's body. And then just, again, allowing your eyes to close, your head to nod just slightly forward. And take a deep and full breath in and out. We're softening the muscles in the back of the neck that can get really tight and pull your head back and down. But interestingly, we have muscles on the side and the front of the neck too, underneath the jaw. So those muscles deserve a little attention as well. And they're somewhat interconnected to the trapezius muscle, which is that muscle that is always accidentally pulling the shoulders up to the ears. So we can elongate that muscle, release and relax that muscle. Again, just feeling the weight of the body pressing down. And now I'm asking you to pay attention to the sounds around you. So allow your attention to go outward into the room. You might be living near a street, hear the traffic. Allow those sounds to be part of this meditation, not to interfere, but just to be present. And then again, let's take our awareness and our attention within, opening from within, opening into that greater space of presence, of being. And quieting your body and your mind. Now I'm going to just invite you to stay here as long as time allows for you today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will say goodbye, but if you can, stay in this quiet place for a little bit longer. All right, my dears. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.